So our next guest is she informed me that she has a new title of doctor. So I didn't know that before, but Dr. Kym Oglesby is joining us, and she is the founder of the Black Authors Association. And I don't know if it's an online group only or if it's in person or exactly what goes on with it, but she has a lot of people in her group, so thousands. So, Dr. Kym,
Hi, how are
welcome
you?
welcome to Black Authors Matter TV.
Hi, thank you. Thank you for welcoming me. I appreciate you.
Okay, so tell us about you first. Are you an author? And was that what led you to start the organization, or just what was your motivation?
Yes, I am an author. I actually have two books, working on my third. But actually what started me from working with the organization. I was a publicist for a Christian author, and we were out and about, and someone said, "There's no black authors. It's nice to finally see one." And I was like, yes, there are. So,
Right.
I was like, there is plenty of them. No, and this person really disputed me in saying that there's no black authors. Every time I go to the store, it's hard to find them. They're not in the library. So I decided to prove that person wrong and created a Facebook group called Black Authors Association. And it just grew from not only becoming a Facebook group, but a community. We do different events. And then to help Black authors get more exposure, we added the magazine concept to it. That way they can be able to get to different outlets from schools to libraries and things of that sort. So it pretty much grew from someone telling me that we don't exist. So I was like, yes, we do. And I'm work with one now. So no, that's not possible.
Love it.
Yeah, sometimes those people telling you you can't do something, that's a great motivation.
Oh, it
Uh,
was.
I've used that over my life numerous times actually. So it's actually is really good motivation. So how many because I haven't looked lately, but at your Black Authors Association Facebook page, how many do you have in the group now?
Actually, we are up to like almost 22,000.
That's
And
amazing.
I knew it was a lot.
yeah, and
Mm.
at first I was like, oh, I just need 10,000, and it'll be fine. Because I tried to be a little bit intimate with the authors there, giving them the resources that they need. Honestly, it was built on four pillars for me. I wanted to make sure that authors had education, whether it's helping to build their platform or
Mhm.
knowing what's going on out beyond what they're doing. Because a lot of times they write the book and they don't know what's next. So I wanted to make sure they were educated. And then I created really for them to collaborate, because a lot of times we think it's just only me. Where are we at? Who else is doing this? And, the platform gives them opportunity to collaborate. If there's something that you don't know, do not create the wheel because it's already been done. Ask the question, post it, and someone will reach out to you. So that's the great thing about the group as well. And then the visibility. One of the things, I worked as a consultant as a nonprofit, and this nonprofit received a grant, and it was like, well, I only want you to buy books from black authors. So I went on a group and said, hey, I need to buy 100 books and this nonprofit is going to pay you. So it was great to see authors just posting their books and their covers and their links, and that link actually helped other people know about other authors. So the visibility, and then equity. A lot of times you go to all these book fairs and you may see one author way back in, one black author way back in the corner. So what we do, we reach out to those book fairs, we reach out to these events and say, hey, do you have a space? And if you do, okay, we'll pay for it, but we're going to place an author in that space. And it's going to be a black author, and they're going to sell their books. So we make sure we have equity in what we're doing as well and outside.
Wonderful.
Mhm. Yeah, our Facebook page for the book festival, we have almost 100,000. But when we post something, uh, we get snarky comments, and so sometimes somebody will say, "Well, when is National White Book Festival. And sometimes if I'm really in a comical mood, I will say every week, because all of them are white and they might have one or two black people, but that doesn't make them not white. You know what I mean?
Right.
They don't have
Exactly.
white in the name of the event, or but
Mm-hmm.
that's essentially what it is. And just because you invite one or two black people doesn't change that. So,
Exactly.
trying to explain that to somebody that's just being stupid, but sometimes I do respond. And our event is a cultural event as well,
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
so it's not racial, it's
Mm-mm.
cultural. And
Mm-mm.
so it's multi-genre. Normally, a lot of times, a lot of the book events that are African American are in one specific genre. It
Right.
might be urban, or it might be romance, or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, and or children's, but ours
Right.
has all of them. Then we
Yeah.
don't have about 20 genres
Mm-hmm.
represented. And people say, well, I didn't know there were black authors writing all these different books. You know, they just think it's one or two. They hear about Terry McMillan, or, they
Yeah.
hear about Eric Jerome Dickey, who's now passed, but they'll hear about one or
Yes.
two people, and they don't have any idea that there are a lot of black authors selling
Right.
a lot
Mm-hmm.
of books.
Yep. Exactly. Exactly.
So, do you
So,
have any requirements for being part of your organization? Like,
honestly, no. One of the things is just being respectful. That's one of the things, again, and also participating if you can, and sharing information. I mean, honestly, that's the only thing. People say, well, it do I have to be black to join? No, not necessarily. It's open to everyone. But again, make known that it is the Black Authors Association, and things
mhm.
that are posted are geared to that targeted audience, unfortunately. So, just be mindful of that. But anyone's open to join. We do screen everyone that we select to be part of the group. So we're really, really selective of that. You just can't click to join a group. No, we go
Okay.
through, we verify and make sure you're in the country. And we tell people, if you're in Europe and Africa, it's not going to benefit you because, again, our targeted audience is US, and it's for Black authors.
But it's good that you have those parameters, because sometimes people want to take everybody just so they can say they have the numbers.
Or
And
Hmm.
buy.
what happens is they're not a service. They wind up not being
Right,
a service for the people that they say they want to be a service to.
right,
Mhm.
right,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. Do you get a lot of people just that join just to post their books?
Yes, we do. Again, you got to get verified first. So, um, when we first started, it was like, oh, it's so wonderful. Let everybody post. We learned the hard way, and I'm like, okay, I'm in school. I can't monitor this every day, so let's lock it down. So, we do have a great social media manager, but we do have some systems in place. But we do allow people to post their books. We encourage them to. And then we give you, certain dates where you can definitely just post, post, post. But we
Okay.
monitor the Facebook group because we don't want it to be too spammy as
You
well.
want people to pour in just as much as
Yeah,
they're taking out.
exactly. And then I have some great authors that say, Kym, we need to purge the group, and I'm like, okay, we're purging because they're getting messages that they're not, getting spam messenger. So we
Okay.
do have some great authors that really communicate with us, let us know what's going on.
Okay. Yeah, I think every page gets that. And people
Hmm.
who uh I just get a lot of emails from people claiming to be Meta and saying that my page is
Oh
violating
yes.
policy. And those are all spam. I just want to tell people,
Hmm.
if you get that
Yes,
message, it's spam. Meta
it's
doesn't do
there.
that.
No, no.
Yeah,
and
I ignore it. And
yeah,
the
Yeah,
thing is, if Facebook wants to reach out to you, they know how to reach out to you.
they
I've
do.
had
exactly.
I've had Facebook put banners across my personal page. They send me an email, they send me a DM, and
Hmm.
If it's really Facebook, you'll know it's Facebook.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Mhm. So, how do you said you do things like you have things where you get together with people. How do you manage that? Like, because I assume you have people that are all over. Do you have people in all 50 states or
Yes, we do, and that's a really awesome thing.
okay?
Um, and we did honestly, well, that's one of my favorite times when we post like roll call, like where you at, where you at. So,
Mhm.
and we have people in all 50 states. I was like, there is actually Black authors in South Dakota and North Dakota. Y'all go ahead. There. But we
There's
do
a
have
lot of
people.
jobs in those places. So a lot of
Exactly.
companies move there because of the space and the cheap land, and
Hmm.
they pay well.
Yes, they
Yeah.
do.
You just have
So
to have winter time for 10 months out of the year, but uh if you can manage that, and sometimes you can work somewhere for a couple of years and make enough money to where then you can move to where you really want to be.
that's true. That is true.
Hmm. So when you
So.
all get together physically, like in person, how do you organize that? How do you manage that?
Well, we do have book fairs here in Philadelphia. I'm located in Philly, so we do
Okay.
have book fairs in Philly, and then we have some author nights. The book fairs is where it turns. It is supposed to be a book fair, but it's really honestly for them to get together and share different things and figure out, who's doing what, how they can collaborate. And they support, authors support each other. They buy each other books, and it really honestly is really nice to see because you may have that first time author sitting there at their table nervous, but then everyone comes and
Hmm.
say, hey, how are you? And it kind of helps them
It makes
realize
them
it's
feel better.
okay. Yeah, it does. So we have book fairs every year. We're actually planning for our summer one, and then we also, like I said, we have different author events throughout the year.
Okay. Now, do you know Richard Ashby?
Yes, I do know Mr. Richard.
Who doesn't know
Okay.
Richard Ashby?
Yeah. And he's in Philly, and that's why I wanted. Now, interestingly, I got a call this morning, like during, especially when it gets close to the festival, we get all kinds of calls. But this one was because you're in Philly. I'm going to scroll back through my phone calls and see if I can identify this particular young man. He called and said they had acquired some rare books by Black authors, like uh, books that might be of value. They might
Hmm.
first edition books and things like that. And he was with a nonprofit, but he didn't know what to do with the books.
Okay.
He was asking me, and I said, "Well, I'm in Houston. If I were you, I would start locally. That's where you should start, you know."
Hmm.
And so, if you don't mind, I may DM you his information, uh,
Okay.
because he really was seeking some answers, and he's in Philly.
Okay.
But he said they had some
Well,
major
yeah,
books, and they
this,
wanted to know what to do with them, and uh, and so I told him to start locally. So see, this is serendipitous.
yes. I mean, honestly, yeah, definitely send my way. One of the things that we do, we place books in bookstores and libraries, not only public libraries, but school libraries. So,
Okay.
depending on what he wants to do with them, we'll work with him and figure it out for sure.
That's
Okay.
great.
All right. That's
Yeah.
wonderful. I love connecting people together.
Yeah,
So,
and I
it's
love
a
people
lot in
who
Philly.
genuinely like to help.
Yeah.
You're not gatekeeping. You're
Uh,
not and don't get me wrong. I know we use gatekeeping as such a bad term because and
Mm-hmm.
we only call people gatekeepers when they don't want to give all of their knowledge away for free.
Mm-hmm.
We expect them to starve while you eat. But
Right.
there are just some people who don't want to tell people
Hmm.
anything and don't want to help them. And
Yes.
I'm just glad to know you're not one of those people.
No, I mean honestly, that was one of another reason I started the Black Authors Association. I'm like, someone shared a lot of information and poured into me, and that's what I try to do with all the authors. I'm like, it's not about how much it's going to cost. I'm like, just no, this is take advantage of this and do this in order to grow. So that way you
Mm-hmm.
can do something else and play it forward. So, I tell them when we do something, they're like, oh my goodness, that's all it costs. I'm like, yeah, I'm very cost effective. I think about it's not about the money. I want to see you grow. In the
Yes.
end, when you sell those 500 books, say, oh, I remember when Kym told me X, Y, and Z. That'll be the proudest moment. I'll be like a proud mother, like, oh my goodness. So, it's all about sharing. I just want them to grow. I want them to be out there. I want people to read their books. And if I have the information, I'm willing to share it. Most definitely willing to share it.
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Now you have, is it three black bookstores in Philly that I know of? Kind of, Hakim's, of course.
Yes.
They one of the oldest in the country,
Hmm.
and what's the other one that was on the show?
Uncle
Oh,
Bobby's?
Harriet's,
Harry's, yes, yes.
Harriet's Bookshop, and we haven't had Uncle. It's the Uncle one.
Harriet.
Uh, what's
Uncle Bobby.
Mm-hmm.
Uncle Bobby? Okay, yeah, we
Yeah,
haven't
Uncle
Hmm.
had
Bobby.
one. Oh, I reached out to him a while back, and so I have to try again
I need
sometime.
to come out. Y'all got all those bookstores in Philly. I need to take the train up to Philly and come visit these bookstores.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because you're real close where you
yeah.
are.
It's only an hour and a half train
Yeah,
ride. I go over there and spend a day with the people.
yeah.
Come on over.
Well, I always go to Richard's event. He does a very nice independent book festival. And I
Are
went
you here in
last year, which
August?
was his first year, and then they did
Hmm.
it again this year, and it was a great
Yeah.
turnout. And he's
Okay.
very supportive of everybody who attends
Yes.
the event. And
Yes,
so
he
everybody
is.
feels like they're leaving with something, and that's good.
Hmm. Hmm.
Mhm. And
Yeah,
Dr.
he is.
Tammy commented that she knows Richard.
Did he?
It was
I
just on
rem-
the show. She knows
yeah,
Richard Ashby. So she commented. So you were right. Everybody knows Richard.
yeah. He's really very a great resource. For me, being a black librarian and a man at the same time, yes, black librarians,
Mm-hmm.
those are good to see. you know. So
Yeah,
yes,
and we were
awesome to know.
Ryan and I were in Philly for the Zeta Boulay. That was what year was that? That 2 years
That was
ago?
2022.
Oh,
Mhm.
2022. Okay. Yeah, we were there for a week for that. Um,
Okay.
and that was very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. Rhonda's wearing her Zeta colors. I don't know if she just came from a Zeta event or she just
No,
has a
this is
lot
just
of
what I wore to
Bouldin
work
in her
today.
wardrobe. Because
It's just what I wore to work. That's all.
I know a lot of finer women here in Philadelphia.
They're wonderful women. Yes, indeed.
Yes, I know a lot of them.
yeah, my daughter's a Zeta too. So
Okay. Yeah.
yeah, and I don't know if have I told the audience. Did I tell you I'm gonna be a grandma, Rhonda?
No.
Okay.
I didn't tell you. My daughter got married in June, and yeah, I'm gonna be a grandma,
Oh,
and
congratulations.
yeah, and
Congrats.
she found out today that it's a girl, which is why she don't have.
Oh,
So she was excited about
yay.
that. Yeah, she's showing a little bit. She's skinny, so it's just like a little basketball. Not even a basketball yet, but it's just all baby. So yeah, they're excited. He's actually in Rwanda. He went on like a mission trip with his nonprofit. So he left
Wow.
yesterday, and I think he might be there now. They went through Belgium, and I thought about you,
Oh,
Rhonda, when he said they were gonna stop. They were gonna stop in Belgium. He flew to New Jersey, then from there to Belgium, and so
And
he's
Belgium's a beautiful country.
yeah.
hmm.
Yeah, he's going to be in Rwanda for uh,
Wow.
8 days. So
Wow.
she's staying home with us while he's gone, which is great. So
Wow.
yeah. So
Nice.
anyway, now do you have dues? Is your organization a dues paying organization? Do people pay dues or
Yes. So
okay?
we have two options. We have the Black Authors Association. It is a membership base. So you can join that. Or we have Literacy Moments Magazine, and that's also another organization. That's pretty much where most of the focus of with the magazine, so you can become a member of Literacy Moments. So you have options. The membership fees are very, very friendly. Right now, since I just graduated last Wednesday, um,
Well,
anyone that signs up,
congratulations.
thank you. Anyone that signs up for on our Facebook page can get a half a page in our end of the year Literacy Moments issue. That's my thank you for all the authors putting up with me doing my doctoral
Oh,
program.
and that's not an easy process. So thank you all of the
No,
authors who put up with Dr. Kym because it was not easy.
no.
And I tell you, we earned that piece of paper with
Yes,
blood,
yes,
sweat,
I
and
did.
tears.
Yes, I did. So, but yeah, I try to be budget friendly. The memberships last for a year, so whatever date you sign up to that following year. And then there's different things, if you're looking, it depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for marketing, we help you with that. If you're looking for help with speaking engagements, graphics, it would pretty much tell the package on what you're looking for. And throughout the year, we kind of plug you into things as well. So it's a really all-inclusive membership. But, besides being a member, we do post things on a group. It's open to everyone as well.
Okay. Okay. All right. So people join for a year, and I'm actually glad to hear that you do have a membership fee because nothing is free. And a lot of times people in this space that we're in,
Hmm.
people act like we're all paid by some like by the government or some entity
Right.
that's
Oh,
paying us to be available to answer
y'all
questions
gonna
and
stop
give
talking about
advice.
being paid by the government.
Oh, I'm sorry, this is sore spot. But you're essential, right, Rhonda? Okay, she says she's not gonna say. So
Hmm?
no,
What you
I'm
want me
saying,
to say?
aren't you essential?
I am what's called accepted, but yeah, it's basically an essential person. I'm going to work and I'll get paid when we get ready to be paid.
Mhm.
Oh, okay. I thought the essential people were still paid.
No, there's exempt, there's essential, excuse me, there's exempt, there's accepted, and there's furloughed. Exempt
Oh,
is getting
okay.
paid. Accepted is going to work and we'll get paid on the back end.
Oh, wow.
Okay. And the
Furloughed is at home
furlough.
and they'll get paid on the back end. They're
Okay.
non-essential.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I am hoping and believing that this will end soon.
Amen.
Mhm.
For everyone involved.
Yes.
People
Yes.
need people need certainty when it comes to employment. You know,
Yes, they do.
need to be in upheaval. So,
Mhm.
um, so Kim, what's new on the horizon for the Black Authors Association? What do you need? What do you have some new
Oh,
plans for the
oh
rest of
yeah.
the year, 2026?
2026, a couple things we're doing. We are giving Scholastic Bookstore a run for their money. So we're
Ooh.
going to be going around to schools and doing book fairs just with Black and Brown authors. So
You
we're
know, that
reaching out
is
to
Yeah,
so needed.
it is.
we're
Because I have visited schools that say they wish they
mm,
had a
mm,
scholastic book event with black and brown authors because those scholastic events are usually pushing white authors. Nothing wrong with the
mm,
books, but
right.
sometimes kids need to see something that
They do.
reflects them.
They do. And
Mhm.
that was part of my doctoral study. Literacy is really not moving. The numbers are not moving in majority of the states. But when a kid sees something that a picture that relates to them, and they get excited, they will open it up. I did a book fair a couple weeks ago, and it was a 6-year-old, picked up the book. And he was throwing through. It was a black little girl with ponytails. He was excited. He looked up like, and his mother was like, I guess we're taking that book home. I'm like, okay. But he would not put the book down. He just was so excited to see all the colors and all the pictures. But that's what we're doing. We're doing a book fairs, reaching out to different schools to plan those. And then one of the things I am doing here in Philadelphia is I am advocating for the school district to open up school libraries A lot of our school libraries are closed. So I'm looking to help them reopen school libraries in the Philadelphia area. So that's
You
what we're
mean
doing.
they're closed, like
Like
not
for
open for the year?
yeah, so I did my study on that. So we have like 217 schools here in Philadelphia, and there's three libraries that have certified librarians, and maybe 10 libraries that's open with volunteers out of the 217 schools.
Wow.
And it's not just Philadelphia, it's all across the country. A lot of schools do not have school libraries anymore.
Mm.
That's sad.
Or if they
I mean,
do,
I
they're
know a
very
lot of this
small and
stuff
very
is
limited.
digital now, but if you don't have a resource for children to know about books and be exposed to books,
Exactly.
not just their textbooks, other
But just
books,
books. Yep.
then how do you expect, some of the stuff that they come up with in this education system is just plain
Mhm.
stupid. Like when they took shot out of the schools. I don't know whose
Mhm.
idea that was, but that was just now it's coming back now.
Yep.
People
Yeah, it
realize
is.
those jobs need to be
Need skilled
filled and
workers.
there's no
Mhm.
skilled people. But
Yeah.
who comes up with this stuff?
Yeah.
Uh, I don't know if it's a committee or just one stupid person. I mean, but that
Yeah.
happened, and then now it's coming back. So,
Mhm.
they haven't lowered the school tax. Uh, if you own a home, your taxes go up. So, what are they doing with the money?
Exactly.
That's what I want. And they need to do some innovative stuff in the
Yes.
education system. They need to start looking at where the children are and what their needs are,
Mhm.
and
Exactly.
you know, and start doing something different
Mhm.
so these kids can get educated.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, the thing with the libraries, thank goodness I had a library in my high school and my elementary school. So when it came for me to do research in college, I knew how to navigate. But if they don't have the library in the high schools and different schools, when they go into college, they're struggling. Like to write this paper, to do this research, how do I search it online? So, it
Hmm.
all trickles down to other things that they want to do in life. So we need to start early. We need to really start early with different systems in place.
Yeah, and it's a lot of information that you can't Google.
Exactly.
And Google is not like the history of their whole world is
No,
not on
no, it's not.
Google. you know.
It's
so,
not.
so I know people kind of think that,
They try.
but no, you have to go off the grid and actually go and look at some either newspapers,
Mhm.
magazines, books from the past.
Yeah.
It can be
Yep.
microfilm or whatever the form they had, the digital form they have now. But
Mhm.
not everything is Google. And Google will eliminate things if they like there's some things that get written that get removed from, like you
Yeah.
can't search for them because either
Mhm.
they're controversial or whether too political.
Mhm.
So it's a lot that's not there.
Yeah.
So and AI is just basically a
Mm.
collection of Google,
Exactly.
just
Exactly.
quicker. So not everything is there either. So
Mm-mm.
um but anyway, Kim, congratulations on
Thank
keeping your.
you.
Now, when did you start? What year did you start the Black Authors Association?
2019.
Okay, so you've been around a good while, and
Yeah. Yep.
congratulations on that. That
Thank
you
you.
stuck to it. You kept it
Yeah.
going. You built it, and you involved a lot of people in what you're passionate.
Thank you. Yep. Thank you so much. Yep.
Well, thanks
Well,
for
I'm
being
I
here.
am in the Black Authors Association, at least on the Facebook page. But I would, now that I've learned more about it, I would love to be more involved. So you'll be hearing from me.
Okay, awesome. Appreciate that.
Thank
Thank you.
you.
Hmm. Well, we appreciate you being a guest on the show. And take care.
Thank you. Thank
Okay,
you.
have a
Have
great
a good one.
night.
Take care.
Too.